Coming into the holiday season, I have a few surprises up my sleeve. Mostly these are tangible lists of what to put on your to-watch list, comprehensive breakdowns of all the films that have been out this year, you know, really helpful stuff. And then there's this, my first ever full watch reaction. I have no idea what's about to happen. After some feedback from some viewers and Patreons, I wanted to give this style of video a go. So if you do like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I know. And today we're talking about Troll 2. Troll 2 is at the top, or should I say the bottom, of a lot of worst horror movie ever lists, which is probably why I've avoided it up to this point. I do have watch parties and tend to watch some really interesting choices sometimes with friends, just for a laugh, just for a gag. But surprisingly, this one's just never come up for me. One was not enough is the tagline for Troll 2, which sits with a 2.9 rating out of 33,000 votes currently on IMDb. The film was first released in 1990 and has no connection whatsoever with the original. Before we dive in rather blind, I have some fun facts about this film which will hopefully provide us both with some context. Number one, the entire cast intended to be just extras but ended up being casted as the lead roles on this film. Number two, as mentioned, Troll 2 has nothing to do with Troll 1, which came out in 1986. The intention was that Troll 2 was going to capitalize on the minor success, very minor success of Troll 1. And number three, probably the most important point, the director for this film, Claudio Fragrasso, he only speaks Italian, yet the script was written in English. So this was a struggle for everyone on set. The cast did ask if they could kind of ad-lib their lines instead of going directly from this translation in the script. The director said, absolutely not. You are to read only what's written down. So they did, which I assume will lead to some interesting dialogue, some awkward moments. The director, by the way, is still furious about the reception of this film, and in fact he was escorted from a reunion Q&A with the cast and some fans. He was escorted out because he was yelling at them that they were dogs and liars. Well, I think it's time to pay that toll to the troll. I'm so sorry. Let's get started and let's watch the Troll 2, guys. Let's get into it.
Peter was a courageous boy.
Straight into it, I guess.
At dawn, he could feel fear stick to his skin like dew on leaves. Then he began to hear strange noises coming from the depths of the forest. Small shadows that seemed to giggle as they followed in his footsteps.
Who are they, Grandpa?
Wait, what? This is all happening real fast. We can't be like 15 seconds into this and you're just throwing the entity in my face. It has got that Italiana zoom. It's almost like Giallo, the zooming, but I do love the fog. But I was not expecting to see these little trolleys so early.
He formed forest dwellers.
What did they want with him? What did Peter do
Wait.
to the goblins?
Goblins? Are they the same thing as trolls? I wonder what the origin of goblins are. I know that trolls are from Norway.
Goblins don't need to justify their cruel acts. They're evil creatures. But let me go on, please.
Okay, I won't interrupt you anymore.
Run, Peter, run! This angle is so epic. This is actually, when you think about the logistics of how they would have done this camera work running through like a literal forest, at that low angle going backwards with these things with like literal spear, you know, like pieces of wood, that's a lot.
She was a lovely girl with huge eyes the color of the sea.
I'm sorry, but that's the fakest fucking freckles I've ever seen in my life. You might want to put some cream on that.
She caressed him and offered him something to eat and drink. He was bewitched by that gaze, and it was that look that deceived him.
I bet it was a goblin in disguise.
What the heck? This is actually really cool. The editing is actually sick. I'm not mad at all.
He was sweating chlorophyll green.
Green?
That's right. The color of the goblins.
Changed into what?
Half man, half plant. The goblins' favorite food.
Don't tell me they ate him, Grandpa.
That's exactly what happened.
What are you doing still up, Josh?
Grandpa Seth was telling me to stop.
What? I didn't see that twist coming. That was an actual legit twist. I'm not mad at this.
Grandpa Seth has been gone for more than 6 months now.
Oh
You
my
were at the funeral,
god.
and I know it was very difficult for you. It was also very difficult
This
for your
dialogue
father,
is so dry
and for
though.
Holly, and for me, his daughter.
And for me, his daughter.
But you must banish him from your mind. Remember what the doctor said?
Of course, Grandpa Seth is just an invention of my subconscious.
Just forget about him. He's dead. He's buried. We're over it.
We're going on a vacation tomorrow. A month in the country will do us all good. Good night, dear.
She's got crazy eyes.
Good night. He's still seeing Grandpa Seth.
It's giving Drop Dead Fred.
You scared the shit out of me.
I'm the victim of a nocturnal rapture. I have to release my lowest instincts with a woman. Oh!
Release your instincts in the bathroom.
Are you nuts? You trying to turn me into a homo?
Not too sure that line even made sense. It's falling apart, guys, and it's falling apart fast. We're going downhill. First 5 minutes, not too shabby. We're going downhill from here. I can feel it.
I like you, but my family doesn't like you. They say you're good for nothing and that you spend way too much time with your friends.
Oh, but I swear I never see them.
So I feel like they're picking on the director a little bit here because even though the dialogue is cringy, the delivery is so horrendous.
What's wrong with having friends?
Nothing. If you want to remain a virgin for life, you take them to bed with you too. And I don't believe in group sex.
Is it true that your family's going on vacation tomorrow?
I'm like actually concerned about this woman. She needs to see a therapist pronto. I have no idea what's going on. She is the most unhinged character thus far.
Oh, Elliot, it will be wonderful. You and me in the woods. This time, we'll be able to be together for sure.
Please, don't do this, Holly.
We could have waited another 15 minutes. I'm sure he would have come.
Ah, she's meant to be crying. Could not tell. So he didn't show up. Okay. We know what's going to happen. He's going to show up with the boys. It makes no logical sense. And I don't even want to start unpacking how this social situation is just so... The whole thing is very confusing and jarring.
Stop it, please. Joshua, start singing. Come on, sing that song I like so much.
I don't feel like singing, Mom.
Just sing.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
I feel like I'm witnessing child abuse. Like, this whole family's so unhinged that every time they have a fight or trying to have a discussion, they make the kids start singing to calm them all down and row, row, row your boat. This is so wild.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
How long would you make it on this trip? I don't think I'd last 15 minutes.
I don't feel good.
Dad stopped the car. Josh was ready to be eaten.
It's so weird because in these like dream sequences, just like the story in the start and now in this like nightmare sequence, it's actually scary and strange and like almost surrealism. I'm getting even a little bit of Lynchian vibes just because it's so strange and everyone's interacting in such a like Twin Peaks kind of fashion that it kind of works. But what doesn't make any sense is the way they're interacting now translates over to how they normally interact. So we're not getting the juxtaposition of the normal with the unhinged. We're just getting the unhinged 24/7, and sometimes there's some green goo to go along with it.
Here, try this. It looks good. How about this?
Yeah, that's it.
Grandpa!
Don't let them eat, Joshua. For the love of God, don't let them eat.
I love this grandpa. This is actually, I'm so glad they have this weird subplot with the dead grandpa. It's saving this film from kind of like boredom. Besides the dialogue that's keeping it interesting and the delivery, there's not much else going on. So I'm really enjoying the Drop Dead Fred grandpa, Pascal.
Stop them, Joshua. You're the only one that can do it. If they eat, they'll come to the same end as Peter in the story.
Grandpa can freeze time too. I also love the fact that no one is commenting on the fact there's green shit all over their food.
I must do it! I must do it!
That's how he thought to do that? That was the only way? That was the only option? Speechless.
Daddy, please!
Don't hit him, Michael. Please don't hit him. Why not? It's what he deserves. A big spanking for little shit.
You can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
What are you going to do to me, Daddy?
Tighten my belt by one loop so I don't feel hunger pains. Your sister and mother will have to do likewise. Okay, Joshua.
The dialogue half the time's cringy as hell, but some of it is so funny. I don't know. I don't hate this. I'm coming back around. So the boys got here and they decided they're just going to camp on the side of the road when no one else is looking for girls. The logic. Wait, there is one.
Who are you? Are you one of the monsters?
Well, I've been called a lot of things, but not a monster.
There they are!
Yay, they're back.
Well, what are they?
Monsters, what do you want from me?
Let me give you some advice, you dwarfs. Get out of here, or you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
I mean, I've never seen that approach before in a horror movie, I have to say.
This is my house.
New character unlocked.
My pool. Shoot.
She tricked them. Who would have known, like, don't drink from the random lady's green cup. It's truly what they deserve. I actually love the set design for this little lair. I think it's beautiful. I love the use of greenery. They have like all of these candles, which I'm sure was a safety issue. Just the texture and all of the different pieces of the set is phenomenal. I don't mind the green goo, but her makeup, this evil lady's makeup, they really said absolutely no shine. She loves a little bit of powder.
Oh my God, what's happening to her? And why can't I move? There must be a logical reason for all of this. Shut up!
See, I don't actually think it's the script. It's the delivery is. I think I'm on the director's side. I never thought this would happen.
They're eating her! And then they're going to eat me!
What can I say? What comment can I add? We witnessed that, right? I have to say, one of the things that I do talk about a lot is unique horror films, and this film has got it. It is unpredictable. So you can't fault that. You really can't. I guess to sum it up so far, we know that these goblins live not trolls, live out in this small town, and they have to make people eat green goo so then they turn into green goo and then they can eat them. No idea why they just don't eat the green goo before they give it to the people, but maybe it is like a farming thing where it just like turns their whole body and makes more green goo. Either way, they're feasting.
Oh my god!
The fly. The fly. Did you see the fly? You can't make this stuff up. I can't with her. She's sending me to an early grave, I think.
Joshua! Joshua!
Grandpa! An apparition! He's like Snow White, like the evil queen. I love him. I love the grandpa.
I'm not sleeping here.
Wait, is she an Aries? This explains it. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Hello, son.
Hi.
Are you in training?
No, just gone shopping.
Hop in then. You'll save your breath that way.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Sheriff.
Don't eat it, bro. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. So is the whole town in on it? Are they goblins? Or trolls? Goblins, I guess. Why have we not talked about any trolls so far? So are they trolls or are they just appeasing the trolls? Do you know what I mean?
Eggs.
Bacon. Are you crazy, boy? We're vegetarians here in Nilbog. Didn't you know that?
You don't eat meat, but you eat people. What?
He said to meet him in the house that looks like an old church. Okay. You can go through the woods. It's only about a mile away.
Why are there so many men? There's so many of them. So she's the mum of the troll goblins. Is she's not a goblin though. Or a troll. And he didn't get eaten. He just got turned into a tree. He's gonna turn into a goblin. Or a troll. Ooh, okay, I like this. It's getting culty.
Which is consumed and caused the fall of the human race, which is so dear to us. Hamburgers, steaks, the steak sausages, and hot dogs.
This is like turning into like a vegetarian theme. But I don't understand how they go from like forcing people to eat this green goo to eating their bodies and then back to being a vegetarian. That's just not how it works. I feel like he's watched one too many Freely videos.
Holly, what a surprise.
Choose, Elliot. Either me or your friends.
I don't understand.
Do you understand now?
The fact that they keep cutting back to her storyline, her subplot, about her weird boyfriend and his friends, and then going to people dying, getting tortured and killed. Children? I really think they should have removed the whole boyfriend aspect. Even though it's given us one of the best scenes, I still don't understand how it has anything to do with what's going on.
Kids with a sweet tooth like yours love ice cream.
Doesn't it feel like the witches? Like forcing them to turn into something else and then revealing like what they actually are?
Help! What's this?
Their true form!
Open your mouth, my little friend.
We're not getting this like goblin transformation scene I want because he's kind of seeing them for who they really are, I believe. That's what's happening. But I want to see a transformation. I want like a werewolf-esque goblin, you know, the fingernails growing, the hair changing. It's so weird. Why would they have human forms and then change back into these goblins and ghouls, like by day? But even when we saw the goblins, it was in the day as well. At what point do they show their true form? I'm asking way too many questions. I'm expecting way too many answers from Troll 2.
What are you doing to my son?
We were giving him some ice cream.
Look at them. They all have a mold the shape of a clover leaf. And Nilbog, it's goblin spelled backwards. I'm telling you, Daddy, they're monsters.
First we had a troll, then it became goblin. Now they're trying to bring the leprechauns into it. What does a four-leaf clover have to do with any of this?
Is anyone here?
I guess the friends are just here to be killed. Like, just more bodies, you know? You gotta add more bodies for the terror. Somebody's gonna be the sacrifice. Ew! Oh my god! I don't know if this is meant to be funny. This is fucking hilarious, though.
What's wrong? Why did you stop? I don't feel so good.
Look what a surprise they have prepared for us!
She's found her people. I didn't see this coming. Again! It's like this culty town is like finally up to par with her craziness. She found her people. It's actually quite sweet.
Grandpa! Grandpa Seth! Come quick!
Oh, it was her. Okay, I see you. I getcha. I getcha. I'm following.
Grandpa!
We all need Grandpa Seth in our lives.
We'll go around the house. When the time comes, you light the wick and throw the bottle. I'll create some confusion with this.
Cut it out, kid. You'll never be able to stop us. And as for you, old man, go back to your kingdom of shadows.
What a diss.
For the sacred power of the magic stone and his lord, go back to hell!
They're just making up rules now. You just a goblin ghoul and you can just, oh my gosh, banish anyone?
What happened?
The ADR. So funny. They just like shot it silent.
Jeez.
His true form! Finally!
Oh my God, what is this?
Oh my gosh, she looks good. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I get it now. The makeup was to make her look unappealing so she could have a whole she's all that moment. Take off the glasses, remove the blush.
We need Grandpa Seth here!
Joshua, Grandpa Seth is dead.
I know he's dead, but up till now he's been the one helping us.
But how do we get him to come? By holding a seance, maybe?
She's like in the occult. She's seducing the boy now. What is happening? No more thank you. No thank you. No thank you. No more. No more. Please, guys, we're nearly there. Home stretch. No one said there was a seance. I'm so excited.
Raise your hands. Concentrate harder. Grandpa Seth, come to us.
Me at a sleepover when I was 15. Getting angry at everyone. Not doing it right. Come on, guys, really. Invite Satan into your heart. Ah! Finally, we're getting that spooky cinematography again. I love these roaming shots. I think they're so cool. It's funny that we had the zooms at the very start and we completely went out of that style, but I absolutely love this roaming handheld. I think it's really cool, especially the under shot because it feels almost like Evil Dead, you know, coming through the trees and through the woods, coming scurrying for you. I love it. It's like the wind passing through.
Joshua!
Dad!
That's the voice of your grandpa?
Yes.
We have only 10 minutes. When that clock starts striking 6, I'll disappear.
There they go again with the rules, just making them up as they go.
Together we can destroy the magic stone that gives the goblins their power.
It got me. It got me good. So why are they showing us this true form now? Please let me know. If you know, let me know. The way he stumbled. He's not an apparition because apparitions can't like physically contact with trolls. Goblins,
Take
whatever.
this. You can only take out the contents when you really need it. Do you understand?
Again with these rules! Who's making up these rules? Oh no, they're cornered. I love that just one of them has that really fucked up face. They did him so dirty.
Please, let's talk. We're all humans here.
Our queen is calling us.
It speaks. Of course, of course. Of course that makes sense. So why, if they can be human and can be goblins, they sound different when they speak? I have a lot of questions.
It's only the power of goodness that can defeat the goblins.
Another rule.
We are going to feed you, Josh. You've been fasting 2 days. You're hungry.
A double-decker bologna sandwich!
Wait, that's what was in his backpack? It was real food? This is like propagandist to eat meat. Now I'm realizing what this is. It took me way too long. The vegetarians are the bad ones. The bologna is the winner. This is the American dream after all. A bologna sandwich. It will save you in the end. Did a bologna sandwich just save the universe? Cut to them just going home. That was like a smash cut almost. What?
They're eating my mom.
Was that? Oh my god, this is actually disturbing.
You want some, Joshua?
Honestly. What? That was actually disturbing in the end. There's so many questions I have about this film, but honestly, it's not the worst horror movie I've seen, or worst like bad horror movie I've ever seen. And even though I did say at the start it was a horror comedy, I assume it was not intended to be. Number one, we need to talk about what were these things. I need to know these were not trolls, goblins, but then they also had a little bit of a leprechaun aspect thrown in there and Stonehenge. Also, what was with the popcorn scene? The sexy popcorn scene with the underage kid? Very disturbing, and she just did that for what? I have to say, that really took me by surprise, and it was completely unique, and I'm kind of okay with it. I'm glad I had this experience because I honestly thought that this was just gonna be a super, super bad movie like The Room. But this movie, it does have some fun redeeming factors. I think that the kid carried the whole film on his back, and I did like the idea of Grandpa Seth coming to him for no reason. Like, you don't even see the death happen, but they're like, oh, by the way, Grandpa died 6 months ago and he keeps coming back and saving us from these goblins. And the weird propaganda with the meat eating, I thought that that was an interesting touch, a unique touch. The fact that a bologna sandwich can save the day in America, what else did I expect? What else is there? I kind of enjoyed it. It's one of those films that you can't really rate for how good they are, more the experience of it. And so I'd probably give it a personal score of like 4. No, it's like a 3. I'd probably give the personal score of like 3, but it's an enjoyable film and I don't think that you can score it with that. It's just a cult classic and I understand why. There's so many unique and fun aspects to it that really make it stand out. The characters were just bizarre, and honestly, I would love to see a sequel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching this with me. If I didn't do it this way, it would not be as enjoyable, so I really appreciate you guys coming along and checking it out. If you do like this kind of video, let me know, and let me know what else you'd like me to do. I did think about doing the snowman, and I was going to do that today, but I felt like I should kind of start off with something a little bit more fun, or something that I hadn't seen before. But yeah, let me know down below. If you didn't, that's totally fine as well, but don't worry, this is not going to replace all my other content. It's just something I wanted to throw in as a little extra spice. But I hope you're having a fantastic day. Give the video a thumbs up if you got all the way to the end, and subscribe if you haven't. I promise I have something a lot more helpful coming right up around the corner. And I'll see you then. Stay safe and stay spooky and stay away from goblins, ghouls, trolls, leprechauns, whatever entity you choose. Keep a bologna sandwich in your backpack and you'll be fine. Okay, bye friends.